For decades, Japan's currency has been a symbol of power and stability. But what really gives the Japanese yen its influence in the global economy? How has it maintained its strength amid uncertainty? And what role does it play in shaping the future of international finance? Stick around as we uncover the secrets behind one of the most powerful currencies driving global trade and finance. Secret power of Japanese yen. To truly grasp the Japanese yen's influence, we must look at its role beyond Japan's borders, across the global economic landscape. Introduced in 1871, the yen quickly became a symbol of Japan's modernization. The country's economic policies, especially after World War II, transformed the yen from a regional currency into a major global player. Following the devastation of World War II, Japan's economy lay in ruins. Yet through strategic reforms, heavy investment in industry, and a determined will to rebuild, Japan experienced what is now called the Japanese economic miracle. By the 1960s, Japan had become the world's second-largest economy, and the yen became a crucial tool in international trade. The yen gained global prominence in 1985 when the US, Japan, and other nations signed the Plaza Accord, aiming to depreciate the US dollar and strengthen the yen and other currencies. The result? The yen surged in value, shifting global trade dynamics and reinforcing Japan's role as a dominant economic force. Today, the yen remains vital in the world economy, recognized as one of the most traded currencies. During times of global market instability, investors seek refuge in the yen due to Japan's strong economic fundamentals and stable policies. It's also a key component of global currency reserves, held by central banks as a hedge against volatility. The yen now stands not just as a reflection of Japan's financial health, but as a barometer for global economic conditions. Whether impacted by trade wars, political instability, or financial crisis, the yen remains a steady force in an ever-changing world. Economic impact and global influence. The yen's significance extends far beyond numbers on a currency exchange board. It's a mirror reflecting Japan's economic strength and a gauge for global market sentiment. Economists, traders, and governments alike watch its movements closely, as the yen's strength or weakness signals much more than just Japan's domestic market. One critical aspect of the yen's influence is its role as a safe haven currency. During economic or geopolitical instability, investors turn to the yen for its reputation of stability. For example, during the 2008 financial crisis and the corona pandemic, the yen surged as investors sought refuge from riskier assets, demonstrating its far-reaching power in international trade. Japan's export-driven economy relies heavily on the yen's value. A stronger yen makes Japanese products more expensive abroad, while the weaker yen boosts exports but raises import costs, a delicate balance closely monitored by the Bank of Japan. The yen also plays a pivotal role in global finance through the carry trade, where investors borrow yen at Japan's low interest rates to invest in higher-yielding assets elsewhere. This practice ties the yen closely to global interest rates, making its fluctuations significant for international markets. In essence, the yen is much more than a currency. It's a crucial player in the global financial system, influencing everything from trade balances to interest rates. Japan's role in global trade and finance. Japan's economy might amplify the yen's global influence, giving it a central role in shaping international financial dynamics. Home to world-renowned industries, from automotive giants like Toyota and Honda to cutting-edge technology leaders like Sony and Panasonic, Japan's exports drive global demand for the yen. Every time a Japanese car is sold in Europe or a high-tech gadget is shipped to the US, international transactions require the conversion of currencies into yen, steadily increasing its global demand. Japan's trade balance also plays a vital role in amplifying the yen's influence. For decades, Japan has run consistent trade surpluses, meaning the value of its exports far exceeds that of its imports. This positive trade balance reinforces the yen's strength on the world stage. as foreign buyers continually need the yen to purchase Japanese goods and services. This steady influx of foreign capital strengthens the currency and gives Japan substantial leverage in international trade negotiations, ensuring that the yen remains a vital currency in the global marketplace. But Japan's influence doesn't stop at its exports. The country has become one of the largest investors on the global stage, with Japanese corporations and government institutions holding substantial stakes in foreign assets. Whether it's real estate in New York, bonds in Europe, or investments in emerging markets, Japan's reach extends far and wide. These foreign investments further enhance the yen's status as a reserve currency, as central banks around the world choose to hold yen in their currency reserves as a safeguard against economic volatility. One notable example is Japan's significant investments in U.S. Treasury bonds, which are widely regarded as some of the safest assets in the world. These investments tie the yen closely to the U.S. dollar, further embedding it within the global financial system. As Japan's economy remains stable, global financial institutions continue to view the yen as a reliable asset, increasing its demand as part of currency reserves and ensuring its relevance as a key player in international finance. Furthermore, Japan's leadership in technological innovation, from robotics to renewable energy, continues to push the demand for yen higher. As nations invest in Japanese technology, they indirectly reinforce the currency's global importance. The yen's influence is not only tied to traditional industries, but is also expanding in new, future-focused sectors, ensuring that it will remain a significant currency as global economies continue to evolve. Challenges and future outlook. Looking ahead, Japan faces challenges that could reshape the dynamics of the yen and its role in the global economy. One of the most pressing issues is Japan's aging population, which poses long-term implications for economic growth. With a shrinking workforce and increasing healthcare and pension costs, the country is grappling with the economic consequences of a population in rapid demographic decline. As fewer people enter the workforce and consumer spending potentially shrinks, Japan may face stagnation, threatening to reduce the yen's standing as a pillar of global finance. Economic stagnation has already been a persistent challenge for Japan over the past few decades. After the economic boom of the 1980s, Japan entered a period of sluggish growth, often referred to as the lost decades, from which it has struggled to fully recover. Low inflation, low interest rates, and slow GDP growth have become recurring themes in the country's economy, complicating efforts to revitalize domestic activity. These factors could impact the future strength of the yen, as reduced growth may weaken global confidence in Japan's economic prospects. Japan's focus on innovation extends beyond finance. The country is also leading the charge in automation and robotics, industries that are essential to counteract the effects of a shrinking labor force. By investing in cutting-edge technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and renewable energy, Japan is attempting to mitigate the economic impact of its aging population and maintain its global competitive edge. These innovations not only support domestic growth, but also drive international demand for Japanese technology, reinforcing the yen's position as a globally traded currency. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the Japanese yen. Now that you understand its power and influence, how do you think it will shape the future of global markets? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights into the currencies that drive our world. Until next time, keep questioning and exploring.